Hello everyone, welcome to PRATHAM Test Prep YouTube channel. I'm Ashish Bhargav and welcome to another episode of daily news analysis that we do from Monday to Friday at sharp 11:30 a.m. And in this session we discuss about all the important news from all major newspapers that we covered in this session. Majorly we discuss about the Hindu and Indian Express, that is, as we know that most of the current affairs question that is extracted from these two newspapers. And in daily news analysis, we discuss about national news, international news, economy-based news, sports-based news, science and tech, personal news, summits and conference, miscellaneous. And apart from that, we discuss about Supreme Court verdict, which is very, very important, and especially for the law entrance exam and state initiative as well. State initiative as well. So as we know that newspaper analysis is very, very important. One, the students who are preparing for the exam, and apart from that, being a law abiding citizen and we can say aware citizen, you must know about what is happening in our country and in the world. So here's the quote of the day: if your voice is high, only a few people will hear. If your thought is high, then many people will listen. And to inculcate this thought process, what exactly you need to do? You have to develop to read the newspaper. Now, just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. That is quote of the Dalai Lama. And study hard, no matter if it seems impossible, no matter if it takes time, no matter if you have to up all night. Just remember that the feeling of success is the best thing in the entire world. And we have taken initiative questions of the day, and that questions of the day is important. So at the end of the session, we discussed about the 3 to 5 questions, which is based on the current affairs section, which is very, very important, because once you will practice that kind of questions, you will get a fair idea like how you will deal with that kind of questions in your exam. Now we moving further. Here is the first news is Indian diaspora from indentured laborers in the mid 1800s, the highly qualified professional now, and Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, that is also known as NRI Day, and we observe on 9th of January every year. And why we celebrate non-residential Indian Day of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas on 9th of January? The reason behind 9th January, the day that same date the Gandhis returned from the Africa to India. So that's why we celebrate this day as in Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. So inaugurating the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, connection to the Monday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India inclusive overseas are brand ambassador. What is the history of expect? So basically we can see the Indian diaspora traces does not include a Greek diaspora, which means that this person, the Indian diaspora, we can say grown manifold since the first batch was taken to the East Pacific and the Caribbean island under the Gimithia Agreement as laborers. So 19th and 12th century that we can say saw that thousands of Indian shipped to the another countries, and we can say that so various classification is there that we can say that is a non-residential Indian, that is NRI, and PIOS, which is a person of Indian origin, overseas citizen of India. Classification is that NRI are Indian who are resident of foreign country. A person is considered NRI if he or she is not in India for 182 days or more during the financial year, or if he or she in India for less than 365 days so if sorry for the convenience. So if she or he is not India for 182 days, or we can say that he or she in India for less than 365 days during the 4 years preceding that year and less than 60 days in that year, so that the person can be considered as a non-residential Indian. right? So we have to understand that how many Indians that is in another country. So if you go into the detail, we will see in Canada that how many Indians are there, 16.8 lakh. United States 44 lakhs, Kuwait 10.2 lakh Indian people is there. United Kingdom is 17.6 lakhs. UAE is 34 lakhs, Saudi Arabia 26 lakhs, and South Africa is 15.6 lakhs. Sri Lanka is 16 lakh, Malaysia is 29 lakhs, and Myanmar is 20 lakhs. So as we can say that इंडिया से सबसे ज़्यादा लोग कहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, दैट इज़ वी कैन से इन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. यूएस में सबसे ज़्यादा इंडियंस हैं यहाँ पे, दैट वी कैन सी 44 lakhs पीपल ऑफ इंडियन पीपल इज़ देयर. एंड टॉप रेसिडेंशियल 3 स्टेट्स हैं, यूनाइटेड अरब एमिरेट्स विच इज़ यूएई, यूएसए एंड सऊदी अरबिया. द टॉप डेस्टिनेशन फॉर द इंडियंस, जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा इंडियंस आपको मिलेंगे, यूएई, यूएस एंड सऊदी अरबिया. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द रेमिटेंस, दैट इंडिया, China, Mexico, Philippines and Egypt, that is kind of remittance in 2022, and that source is from Ministry of External Affairs as on December 25, 2021. And according to the World Migration Report 2022, that we can say India has the largest immigrant population in the world in 2020, making the top origin country globally, followed by Mexico, Russia, and China. And the data shared by the government in Parliament 2022 show that geographical spread of the Indian diaspora is vast. The country with over 10 lakhs overseas of Indians includes United States of America, UK, United Arab Emirates, Sri Lanka, South Africa, and Saudi Arabia, Myanmar, Malaysia, Kuwait, and Canada. Now moving to the next article is, here is there is a controversy is going on about the Joshimath. What is the important takeaways for the exam? We have to understand what is the land subsidence. So ground in Joshimath, Uttarakhand has been sinking and cracks have appeared on road and buildings. So almost a week after cracks appeared on the roads in hundreds of houses in the Uttarakhand Joshimath, authorities on Sunday declared a landslide subsidence zone. So we have to understand in the very detailed manner what is land subsidence. Land subsidence, which means according to US National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, which is called NOAA. NOAA, which means US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Atmospheric Administration. So subsidence is the sinking of the ground because of underground material movements. So in simple that we can say land subsidence, which means sinking of the ground because of underground material movements. It can be caused by variety of reasons, man-made of natural, such as the removal of water, oil and other natural resources, and mining activities as well, and earthquakes, and well-known cause of subsidence. So what is the possible cause in Joshimath? So Joshimath, that we can say that the reason behind the land subsidence in Joshimath is still unknown, but experts suggest that it might have been caused by unplanned construction. That is might be an apprehension that is unplanned construction, overpopulation, obstruction in the natural flow of water, and we can say hydel power activities. And this area is seismic zone. Seismic zone, which means there is a possible chance to be an earthquake, right? And which makes it prone for too frequent tremors. And first time that MC Mishra committee report, they will ask you in your exam, like MC Mishra committee report sometimes in the news is related to what? So that is related to what? It is related to the unplanned development in the area. So make sure that is the unplanned development area. So MC Mishra committee report, which pointed to unplanned development in the area that already had natural vulnerabilities. And as per the expert, Joshimath city has been built on the ancient landslide material, meaning it rests on deposit of sand and stone, not rock, which does not have a high road bearing capacity. So this is all these things we need to important takeaways I told you about the exam. So please try to make, because that kind of question they are possible to ask in your exam. Moving to the next article is new draft boa found in Ecuadorian Amazon. As we can see, the screenshot taken from the Hindu, as we can down to Earth. Again, Journals of India, news, and many newspaper articles that has covered the new draft boa species discovered in Ecuador. So scientists have discovered a new species of draft boa in the Ecuadorian Amazon that it named it after indigenous activist. So draft boa, if we talk about, It belongs to the family Tropidophyllae, living high in the cloud forest in northeastern Ecuador. Its habitat includes tropical predominant and lower evergreen mountain forest. And what exactly characteristics is the snake is a light brown in coloration with noticeable black blotches on the belly and muted blotches running down the back, and dark brown pigmentation is found through the center of the head. Next is Bolsonaro backers storm state institution. Lula says ex-president egging them on. So newly elected president Lula, see that, and he belongs to Workers' Party. He belongs to Workers' Party. So supporters of Brazil's former right president that Jair Bolsonaro invaded the country Congress presidential place on Supreme Court on Sunday. So we have to understand that where is the capital of Brazil and who is the Brazil. Lula is the current president of Brazil. Recent election was there, and we can say that he belongs to a Workers' Party. Only two important points is need to be remembered. Now moving to the next news is ozone layer healing hole will mend by 2066, says United Nations. So the Earth's protective ozone layer is slowly but noticeably healing at a pace that would fully mend on the hole over Antarctica in over 43 years. So what is tropical ozone hole? So according to a recent study, a new ozone hole has been detected over the tropics at latitude of 30 degrees south to 30 degrees north. What is the study revealed for that? So if you talk about the tropical ozone hole is about 7 times larger than Antarctica. It also appears across all seasons, unlike that of Antarctica, which is visible only in the spring. And the tropical ozone hole, which makes up 50% of Earth's surface, could cause a global concern due to its risk associated with it. And it is, likely to cause skin cancer, cataract, and other negative effect on the health and ecosystem in tropical region. What do we know about ozone layer? So we can say it is a special form of oxygen with a chemical formula of O3. So ozone chemical formula is O3, and the oxygen we breathe and that is so vital to life on Earth is O2. Most ozone resides high up in atmosphere between 10 to 40 km above Earth's surface, and this region is called stratosphere, and it contains about 90% of all ozone in atmosphere classification. What exactly is good ozone and bad ozone? So as we know that good ozone, which means it occurs naturally in the Earth's upper atmosphere, which is then to be a stratosphere, which is to be a first layer of the Earth, which it forms a protective layers that shield us from the sun harmful ultraviolet rays. And this good ozone is gradually being destroyed by man-made chemicals referred to as ozone depleting substance, which is ODS, including chlorofluorocarbons, CFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons. So what is CFC and HFC? Earlier we can say that जो पहले आपके रेफ्रिजरेटर होते थे, फ्रिज होते थे और या AC, उसमें पहले रिलीज होती थी CFC, which is chlorofluorocarbon. Now it has to be amended by the government कि आपको HFC यूज़ करनी है, which is known to be a hydrochlorofluorocarbons, halogens, methyl bromide and carbon tetrachloride and methyl chloroform. And what is bad ozone is in the Earth lower atmosphere, troposphere near ground level. Ozone is formed when pollutants emitted by cars, power plants, industrial boilers, refineries, chemical plants, other sources react chemically in the presence of sunlight. Make sure ये सारे presence of sunlight में ही use होती हैं, and that boilers and refineries, chemical plants, that also is very detrimental for the human health. And if we talk about surface layer, ozone is very harmful air pollutant. So as we can see in this that India observed 28th World Ozone Day every year 16th September, that is observed as International Day for Preservation of Ozone Layer, World Ozone Day, to commemorate the signing in the Montreal Protocol. And if the any day and dates is there, you must need to remember what is the theme. And theme of this 2022 is in Montreal Protocol, so global cooperation protecting life on Earth. And as we can see in upper atmosphere, protective ozone in the stratosphere, that is good ozone. Lower atmosphere, harmful ozone in the troposphere, that is very bad, like you can say sunlight plus nitrous oxide plus VOC, volatile organic compound, which is called volatile organic compound. Volatile organic compound, as we can say that जो घर में आपके once you will enter in the house after a long time, you will see that there is a kind of आपको furniture से थोड़ी बहुत smell आती है, घर में एक ऐसी smell आती है, that is known to be a VOC, which is organic compound, volatile organic compound, which is ground level ozone, which is somehow responsible. So sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, nitrous oxide and VOC, that considered to be a ground level ozone, right, which is very bad for the human health. Now moving to the next article is, and a mountain reeling under human aggression, and this many raised red flag against a massive infrastructure project called the Chardham road project that is being implemented in the Uttarakhand Himalaya. It is indeed turning to be a unscientific road construction project with catastrophic consequences for the mountain ecology. And the armed force and the authorities, in their enthusiasm to have a smoother and faster all-weather connectivity for pilgrimage tourists. So this is basically talking about like what is the role of National Disaster Management Authority, which is known to be NDMA. So that's your homework. Can anyone tell in the comment section who is an chief of NDMA, and NDMA comes under which ministry of our country? Now moving to the next article is, has human-animal conflict increased in Wayanad? So what has been the latest incident in a series of wild elephant attacks in Kerala, and why have such conflict increased? What can be done to prevent them? So in the latest in a series of wild elephant attacks in Kerala, so a daily workers was attacked by elephant in a Sultan Battery town adjacent to Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary that is located in the some parts of Kerala. So after 3-day research, the elephant contained Pandular Makhana 2 part. So how the elephant captures. So initially the plan was to chase the animal back into the wild, but on January 7, the chief wildlife warden issued an order to capture PM2 and convert the elephant into a trained one. So we can say an increase in the institution of the people into wildlife habitats and the change in the land use pattern by cultivators have exacerbated these incidents. And the only solution for this is to mitigation of conflict. For this, both government and society should work together as a single entity and other perspective towards wildlife. Now moving to the next one, the delay in the decennial census. So what are the reasons to be repeated postponement of 2021 census, and how will these delay impact administrative functions, welfare schemes and other data sets? Because government जब भी कोई प्लान या स्कीम्स को लॉन्च करती है, so as we know कि वो उसके लिए क्या करना होता है, उसके लिए आपको यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट को डेटा चाहिए होती है कि उस प्लेसेस पे कितने BPL वाले लोग हैं, BPL विच मीन्स बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन, जो गरीबी रेखा से नीचे रह रहे हैं. सो द डेसिनियल सेंसस जो है, सेंसस आपको 2024 में, जबकि 2021 वाली सेंसस आपको 2024 और 2025 में रिलीज होंगी. तो उससे नुकसान क्या है कि 4 साल तक गवर्नमेंट किस बिहाफ पे, क्योंकि हमारे पास 2011 का ही सेंसस है और सेंसस जो 10 साल के बाद होती हैं. सो इसमें यह जो जिन्होंने इस आर्टिकल को लिखी है, दीक्षा मुंजाल ने, एंड इज ट्राइंग टू वी कैन से दैट इज शी ब्रिंग्स दैन अटेंशन टू द गवर्नमेंट कि इससे नुकसान क्या है. सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट बस गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज लॉन्च नहीं होगी. सो अगर मैं बात करें सेंसस कंडक्ट कौन करता है हमारे देश में, जनगणना जो होती है कौन कंडक्ट करता है. सो पोस्ट 1949 इट हैज़ बीन कंडक्टेड बाय रजिस्ट्रार जनरल एंड सेंसस कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स रिलीज करती है उसे. And all the censuses since 1951 were conducted under the 1948 Census of India Act. And the last census that was held in 2011 was the next will be this year in 2021. Census की अगर बात करें लेटेस्ट वन, तो census 2011 was the 15th national census. It means जो अभी वाली 2021 वाली होगी कौन सी है, 16th national census since 1872 and 7th after independence. So, have you ever thought about how the census was done in ancient and medieval times? If you talk about ancient and medieval times, so the earliest literature, जो ऋग्वेदा है, that reveals that some kind of population count was maintained during 800 to 600 BC in India. And the celebrated Arthashastra by Kautilya, written in 3rd century BC, prescribed the collection of population statistics as a measure of state policy for taxation. टैक्स को देने के लिए सबसे पहले आज से 2800 years पहले भी there was a census, and that was Arthashastra, which is written by Kautilya, which is known to be a Chanakya and Vishnugupta also, and that was written in 3rd century BC. prescribed by the collection of population and a state policy of taxation. It contained a detailed description of method of conducting population, economic and agriculture censuses. And second time in the medieval period of time that we can say, so during the reign of Mughal King Akbar, the administrative report in Ain-e-Akbari. So Ain-e-Akbari included comprehensive data pertaining up to population, industry, wealth and many other characteristics. What was the census in modern times? The first complete census of India was conducted in 1830 by Henry Walter in Dhaka, which is now in Dhaka, which is the capital city of Bangladesh. So part of India in that time. And in this census, the statistics of the population with sex, broad age group, and the houses with their amenities were collected. And second census that was conducted in 1836 and 37 by Fort St. George according to the government website of Census India. So अगर बात करें फर्स्ट सिंक्रोनस सेंसस की तो ये सबसे पहले हुआ था 1881 में by W.C. Ploden. And Census Commission of India. In this census, the main emphasis was not only laid on complete coverage, but on the classification of demographic, economic and social characteristics took in the entire continent of British India. Since then, census have been undertaken uninterruptedly once over 10 years. So, census कितने दिन पे होती है 10 years पे. So, इस साल जो 2021 के census जो है उसमें क्या चीज़ें नहीं होने वाली है. तो पहली बार इसमें डिजिटली मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन से डेटा काउंट होगी एंड देयर विल बी a provision of working in offline mode also. Census 2021 will be conducted in 18 languages out of 22 scheduled language जो कि हमारे schedule 8 में mention है and English also. While census 2011 was 16 of 22 scheduled languages declared at that time. So it will also introduce a code directory to streamline the process. The option of other, which means the third gender category, third gender that was included in this year, which means पहले census 2011 में आपको only the option was male and female. Now the third gender will be also calculated. अब इससे फ़ायदा क्या है कि तो अगर government have data for third gender, so it means that government can enacted any policies, right? उनके पास अब डेटा ही नहीं होगा हमारे कंट्री में थर्ड जेंडर कितने लोग हैं, तो ऑब्वियस वो डेटा कैसे वो उनके पास उनके वेलफेयर एंड वेलबींग के लिए कैसे डेटा लॉन्च करेंगे और उनके वेलफेयर के लिए कैसे वो कोई स्कीम्स को लॉन्च करेंगे. सो देयर वर रफली 5 लाख पीपल अंडर अदर कैटेगरी इन 2011. So for the first time in 140 years history in census of India, data is proposed to be collected through a mobile app by enumerators and they will receive an additional payment as incentive. And the census data would be available by the year 2024. देखो ये 2024-25 तक ये रिलीज होंगी as the entire process would be conducted digitally and data crunching would be quicker. Time to count census का same चीज़ें दी हुई है, so we not need to discuss it again. Difficulty in determining age, obvious that नवंबर में over 4 years after gang rape and murders उसके बारे में दी हुई है. जिन्होंने इस आर्टिकल को लिखी आर्केविज the former social director of general of police. So the claimed date of birth which showed the accused to be approximately 15 years and 2 months old as the time of commissions of the offence. And इसमें मेंशन की हुई है कि जो हमारे इसमें बर्थ डेट है. So as we know that United Nations Children's Fund report, United Nations Children's Fund report, and that report clearly mentioned that like 72% of births of children below the years were registered in India, and out of 26 million children born every year, उसमें से 10 million जो है that is unregistered होते हैं. तो गवर्नमेंट के पास डेटा ही नहीं है. And as you know that National Family Health Survey data, NFHS, National Family Health Survey data, the share of India institutional deliveries has increased to 88.6% in 2019-21 and 40.8% 2005-6. So non-registration of births by the head of the house of hospital is punishable with a fine of up to rupees 50 under the Registration Birth and Details Act 1969, which clearly says. इसमें डायरेक्ट ड्राफ्ट को अमेंडमेंट की गई टू दिस एक्ट एंड दैट प्रपोज टू द इंक्रीज ऑफ फाइन अप टू ₹250 and 1,000 फॉर एन इंडिविजुअल्स एंड इंस्टीट्यूशन रिस्पेक्टिवली. सो इसमें जो हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन है इसमें what we exactly need to do. Better medical techniques to estimate age is welcome, and if it would be better for every birth is registered on the basis of hospital and any other proof, so that it credibility is maintained in the court of law, right? Now moving to the next article. So about 3.12 lakh Indian Railway posts laying vacant, says Ministry. So highest number of vacant posts in the northern zone, 50% of the post. Vacant in central zone in the safety category, recruitment process will be filling 35,280 vacancies completed. What Ministry says of Rajya Sabha. So this is a matter of very serious concern, but important टेकवेज फॉर द एग्जाम बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, बट आपको ये याद रखनी कि नॉर्थ जोन में सबसे ज़्यादा वैकेंसी जो है वो फिल की जानी है. And that is, we can say who is our railway minister, that is known to be Ashwani Vaishnav. Ashwani Vaishnav is our railway minister. And who was a former IAS officer as well. Now moving to the next, and here is the time to questions of the day. Here's the first question. The confluence of Alaknanda and Dhauliganga is at Karnaprayag, Vishnuprayag, Rudraprayag and Nandaprayag. So the right answer would be here Vishnuprayag. So Vishnuprayag is one of the Panchprayag, 5 confluence of Alaknanda river, and light in the confluence of Alaknanda river and Dhauliganga river in Chamoli district in Indian state of Uttarakhand. And because of Joshimath, there was an article about that's why we asked in the question, in which one of the following state of Kangla Nongpok Thong bridge located? And that was recently in the news as well, and we have discuss about this newspaper analysis that about Kangla Nongpok Thong bridge that is located in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Tripura and Nagaland. So the answer would be here B option. So about Kangla Nongpok Thong, the Nongpok Thong was testimonial by the British after 1891 Anglo-Manipur War, and the opening of Kangla Nongpok Thong has a very important cultural significance, and the eastern gate of Kangla is considered to be the pathway to peace, prosperity and happiness for the people of Manipur. Next one. In the context of modern history, the lightning conductor and conspiracy theory was related to Indian National Army INA revolt, establishment of Indian National Congress, partition of Bengal and Kogmatau Maru incident. So the answer would be here B. The lightning conductor and conspiracy theory, both the theories were related to establishment of Indian National Congress. And ye what exactly was the conspiracy theory was. So R.P. Dutt opined that the Indian National Congress was born out of a conspiracy to abort a popular uprising in India, and the bourgeois leaders were the party to do. And the lightning conductor is Bipin Chandra observed on early Congress leaders used Hume as a lightning conductor, that is as a catalyst to bring together the nationalist forces even if under the guise of safety valve. So that we need to understand that lightning conductor and conspiracy theory that was done by the establishment of INC, and that was done in the 1885. INC was established in 1885 under the presence of A.O. Hume. And additional information, we can see the first president of Indian National Congress is W.C. Banerjee. So important takeaways for the exam: it was established in 1885. Purpose was just for the against the Britishers' imperialist policy, and it was established by A.O. Hume. The first president is in the National Congress is W.C. Banerjee. Fourth question is, during the Swadeshi movement, which of the following leader declared the political freedom is the life breath of a nation? Rabindranath Tagore, Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So obvious the answer would be here, option C. The militant nationalists tried to transform the anti-partition and Swadeshi movement into a mass struggle and gave the slogan of India's independence from foreign rule. Political freedom is the life breath of a nation, declared Aurobindo. Thus, the extremists gave an idea of India's independence and the central place in India's politics, and the goal of independence was to be achieved through self-sacrifice. Next one, the last question. India is the largest producer of coal in the world. Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh account to almost 70% of total known coal reserve in India. And according to present rules, coal mines in a state can be allocated to different states for its extraction and use. Which of the above statement is our correct one? So obviously India is not largest producer of coal in the world. China is the largest coal production in the world. So obvious statement first one is incorrect one. So where is the first? Here is the first, here is the first, here is the first. We can easily eliminate A option, B option and D option. So we are left with by default is C option, which is 2 and 3. So we can see the coal deposits are primarily found in eastern and southern central India. Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh accounted almost 70% of total known coal reserve in India. India is the world's second largest coal producer after China. China is the largest coal producer, and coal mines in a state can be allocated to different states for its extraction and use. So this is all about the session, student, and I hope you enjoyed the session a lot. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and if you are new in this channel, please subscribe the channel as well, and do not forget to press the bell icon so you will get the notification of all our Pratham Test Prep mentors. Stay tuned. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time at 11:30 a.m. and please share this video to your friends and colleague and family groups so that they will get an awareness about what is happening around in our country and as well as in the world. Thank you so much for joining with us. Bye bye and take care. अपना ख्याल रखें, सुरक्षित रहें. We'll meet you tomorrow at the 11:30. Thank you so much. Bye bye and take care once again.